Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, we do have two very important topics to talk about in today's video, and that is going to be about Sergi Roberto and Gerard Pique. The main reason why we're going to be talking about these two players in this video today, it is because of what happened in the match between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. So look, first things first, this was a very underwhelming performance coming from Barcelona. In this game, we have seen Barcelona show that they have lack of solutions, that they had no control of the midfield, and it really did look like the players wanted this game to end as soon as possible. It felt like they did not want to be there. And by the end of that game, two players have encountered a injury, and those two players is Sergi Roberto and Gerard Pique. Starting with Sergi Roberto, it is official and it is confirmed by Barcelona that Roberto will be out for approximately 2 months, and it is because he has encountered a thigh injury. Now look, I know that Sergi Roberto has been that player to the fans where they simply do not want him on the field anymore. They always doubt his quality of work, but I would say otherwise. I still think that Sergi Roberto does deliver on the field, but not in the way many fans want him to deliver. For example, in the match against Atletico Madrid, we needed more of an attacking output besides Dembele, and one of those options could have been our right back. We are currently seeing that with Sergi Dest, but as for Sergi Roberto, he was just not able to bring in those attacking qualities, and that is why many fans were saying we don't want Sergi Roberto as our right back. But now that he's going to be out, and that he's going to be out for 2 months, now Barcelona is in a position where they have no depth. Like, after Sergi Dest, what other choice are we going to have? And there are solutions, but I don't think that it's going to be in Koeman's best interest to use any of these players or go in this route. So one of the solutions could be to use Junior Firpo as the backup for either Sergi Dest or Jordi Alba. We have never seen Firpo play as a right back, but we are going to have to be forced to if Dest does get injured. This is going to be worst case scenario. But in the end, Firpo does not have the flexibility in order to do that, but it's going to have to come down to that. The other solution could be is for Ronald Koeman to look for a right back or left back from the B team, and one of those players could be Alejandro Balde. This is a player that has been talked about for the past 2 weeks. Many have asked what's going to go on with Alejandro. Is he going to be promoted? Are we going to see him soon? These are going to be the situations where we might potentially see Alejandro get promoted only because we have no depth. So that could be the second choice. And I know that Alejandro does not play as a right back. He does play as a left back, but again, it's going to have to come down to that because we simply have no other choice. But let me know what you guys think. Now that Sergi Roberto is out for 2 months, what route do you believe Ronald Koeman should take going forward for the next 6 to 10 weeks? And now I want to move on to Gerard Pique. So here's the thing, and I have explained this multiple times. Now that we have Pique out from Barcelona and he's going to be out for a couple of months, we only have one center back left. And the only reason why we are in this position is because back in the summer, Barcelona loaned out Todibo, a great quality center back, and they have loaned him out for 2 seasons. And us fans are saying, okay, if you're going to loan out Todibo to another team, at least bring in another center back in order to strengthen and bring more depth towards our defensive line. But that wasn't the case. Barcelona failed to bring in Eric Garcia. So you loaned out Todibo and you failed to bring in a new center back. I do believe that it was safe to say that we saw this coming since the summer of 2020. Now we are seeing it pay out. Now we are seeing us pay the price for our inability to build a strong sporting project. So here is what it's looking like for Gerard Pique. It says here, Pique has a grade 3 sprain in the internal lateral ligament and a partial injury to the anterior ligament in his right knee. Keep in mind, this is not a meniscus problem. This is something that we have heard with Ansu Fati. It is in the same area within the knee, but it's not the meniscus. And because things are so unclear right now on his extent and what exactly he has torn within his knee, there is going to be further tests involved within this study. It has been said that Gerard Pique will be visiting Dr. Ramon, who is one of the best doctors out there in Spain. And one of the biggest questions they're going to have to answer is, should Gerard Pique take the surgery or not? Keep in mind, there's going to be 2 different outcomes towards taking this surgery. One is, if he does not take the surgery, he can come back in 3 months. He can just shrug it off and say, I feel better now, come back in 3 months and play again. But you are going to be encountering that pain again because you did not take that surgery. So you may think that you're feeling better after those 3 months, but only to come back on the pitch and then make runs, try to defend, and then later, like 30 minutes later or 40 minutes later, you're back to day one. The second route is going to be this. If Gerard Pique says yes to the surgery, he's going to be out for 4 months, which is going to take even longer to recover and make that return, but have that guarantee that you are going to be 100% fit and you will not have no other knee problem. So those are going to be the two outcomes. Now, I do want to point one thing out. History does tell us one thing. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not someone who really does study how knees work or how elbows work or any sort of injury. I don't study that. I'm just going based off what we have seen throughout history. Every time a player does encounter a surgery and he says, yes, I'm going to be taking this surgery, it does take a very long time to recover. Usually you take about 4 or 5, 6, sometimes even 10 to 11 months. And even though you do return and not encounter those same knee problems, you're not going to be playing in the exact same way. And there has been proof. Looking at Falcao, looking at David Villa, currently we're looking at Asensio. He has encountered some similar knee problems, and even though he is still playing extremely well, it is still not the same to how he was before that knee problem. And so you get what I mean, right? Even though you're not going to be playing bad, you're still not going to be performing at that same level that you were performing at. Now, we have seen some players say, no, I'm not going to take no surgery. I'm just going to try and heal this off, maybe put an ice pack on top of it, and then come back and play through it. Now, again, this is the faster route. You can come back sooner than later, but you are going to be encountering that same pain again later through the season. And then eventually you're going to be in a situation where you're going to say, I don't feel good, I need to come out again, recover again, and then come back, and then say, I don't feel good, I have to recover again, and then you're going in and out, in and out. And then you're in a situation where you're never going to have consistent game time. We have seen that with one player, and one of those players is one of our players, that is Samuel Umtiti. So it's a very tricky situation. And it says here, according to Cat Radio, Gerard Pique has doubts on whether he should opt for surgery or not. He will undergo an MRI scan on Tuesday, and the final decision on whether a surgery will be done is expected to be taken on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the day where they will make a decision. And here's the final conclusion. For us Barcelona fans, right, I'm speaking only based off our perspective. Worst case scenario is for Pique to come back in about 4 to 5 months. The best case scenario for us would be for him to come back in 3 months. But for him, right, for the player, for Gerard Pique, the worst case scenario would be for him to come back in 3 months, which basically means he put aside the surgery and he's just going to come back and try to play it off. The best case scenario for this player would be 4 to 5 months, and just take his time and make sure that he does fully recover in order for him to bring out the best performances when he does make that return. And so who knows what Pique is going to choose, who knows what the doctor is going to recommend, but whatever does happen within this week, we are going to be talking about it here in this YouTube channel. So that'll be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. It's very unfortunate to see players such as Sergi Roberto and Gerard Pique encounter these serious injuries. Right now, Barcelona is going through an injury crisis, but we do have to adapt. We have to find ways and solutions to navigate through these tribulations. And one of those solutions could be Barcelona B. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.